New on Curiosity Stream.
I'm James Burke. I'm going to take you on a journey through time.
James Burke's visionary series returns, reimagined for our time.
Now, this is all uncharted territory.
The Washington Post hails Burke as one of the most intriguing minds in the Western world. The New York Times raves he careens from one great moment in history to another.
Where do we want to go from here?
Experience all new Connections.
So what's the next connection?
With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find the one that works for you at curiositystream.com.
Wake up at Holiday Inn Express to a can't-miss breakfast that's free with every stay. Count on all the hot, fresh coffee you need and an incredible breakfast buffet that has something for everyone, like eggs, cinnamon rolls, and even hot, fresh pancakes with all the toppings you crave. Next time, do yourself a favor and stay at a Holiday Inn Express with a can't-miss breakfast that's free with every stay. So, when you wake up at Holiday Inn Express, you'll wake up happy. A part of IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Join us as we seek the truth and travel the long road to justice.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to our second live episode of Pretty Lies and Alibis. I'm Gigi Fruit Loop. What you know?
Dude, this is a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, and you've done it all because I have been absent all day.
Yeah. No, you've been working, so.
Been taking care of my aunt today, and then I had to go to the grocery store for Grammy and feed the kids, take a shower, and I slid into this chair like 5 minutes ago. But I'm ready.
Get the marshmallow round chocolate cookie thing.
What?
Grammy, she always would give me those. It's the round, they're like round chocolate. It's like devil's food chocolate with marshmallow and chocolate over it.
Oh, yeah. She's always sending you home with a grocery bag full of something.
Yeah, that or oatmeal pies.
Yes. So what's good with you?
Getting ready for Christmas. Sheesh.
Dude, it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
I am going to barely make it.
Yeah, we're screeching in on two wheels.
Same.
Yeah, that's it.
And screaming a lot of obscenities in the process. But hey, 'tis the season, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Pam.
Hey, Megan. We started a few minutes early because the last time we did this, remember, we had Kresha on.
Yep.
Kresha Easton, our buddy. And we had some technical difficulties, but we think we've got them kind of figured out. We should be good to go. We got a lot of questions. And we'll wait a couple of minutes before we start diving into those.
We're seeing all these comments.
I know. It's crazy.
Thanks for the tree. It's cool.
Yeah, I had to run and
Diana.
Look, I had to do some oh my gosh decorations because I have my normal live setup and I go on here and I see like Fruit Loops, like a picture, it's like a Christmas postcard in the background. And I'm like, okay, let me get the kids' shoes off the chairs and all that stuff. So
so you can't see it, but I got a bunch of antiques back there. It's like some of my grandparents' stuff and all back there.
Yeah,
so
you have that in that chest, right? It's so cool.
Yeah.
You're speaking my daughter's language.
Yeah. But we're seeing all these. Diana. Yeah, this is a different backdrop. So,
hey, Ashley, I did hear that about David Cox. It was a guy that was executed. He left a note telling them where there was another body of his sister-in-law. That was crazy.
Oh, wow.
Man, I need a haircut and color, y'all. Look at this. Like, I'm hiding it with root spray, but don't be fooled.
It says Edie's finally home from the hospital. Edie, we don't know what went on, but we're glad you're home from the hospital.
Edie, glad you're home. We know all about this hospital stuff right now.
Thanks for the tree love, guys. Audrey, I see your post. Diana, you need a tour of my house. Yeah, you don't want to see a tour.
It's like, I was just telling Fruit Loop, I'm so glad that you guys can just see behind me because if you saw to the left or the right or in the living room, you would be like, girlfriend, what are you doing?
Hey, Michelle. Michelle's on here.
Yes,
our
definitely
buddy
looking postcardish. I mean, you should have seen me running to get something.
You always have a cool backdrop. I just normally am sitting at the dining room table. So
my Grammy put this little tree together for my aunt while she was in the hospital so she could feel like she was in the Christmas spirit. So I stole it when she came home and now it's in my house. So, hey, Ruth.
Yeah,
T-shirt quilts. Andrea, our T-shirt sponsors in here. Andrea, we just had somebody say they're starting to get their T-shirts together.
Yeah, you can see my pillow back there. You can never see
Yeah,
it 'cause
mine's
it's in
here too.
another
I finally
room,
brought
but
it back from my aunt's house. I was like,
it's
sorry.
right there. Yeah. I just saw Julie Palmer from New Mexico. I love New Mexico. It's a cool place.
Yeah, so I'm from Mississippi. Let's see. That was in the county next to mine. It's insane. Oh, one of the tornadoes, I guess. Scary stuff, man. It's,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep. Tracy, Mary, Stephen. I wonder if it's Stephen or Stefan. There's two different ways to pronounce that.
Steve, I think it's Steven.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steven.
He
He's
always
very
comments. He's cool.
Yeah. He's in Philly, and he frequents a place I used to go to in Philly. Really cool.
So Andrea says they have made a few. So
Yeah, that's
cool.
good. That's what it's about, you know? I mean, she's our very first sponsor.
Yeah.
I didn't see Crushes live. I'm gonna go back and watch it.
Yeah,
I've been running all over. Oh, our podcast is part of a podcast group in Seattle, says Melon Bug. That's so cool.
Oh, cool.
Like, I love that.
Cool.
That is neat.
Seattle. I always want to go there.
Seattle's awesome.
I've never been.
Yeah, I love Seattle. I went there when I was a kid, and I'll never forget it. We got there, and there was a convention. There was like all kinds of conventions going on, and we couldn't find a hotel room. And so the first night we had to sleep in our car. And my dad pulled a Clark Griswold. He's like, "We're going home. Just don't even unpack. We're just getting back on the plane." But Seattle's awesome. I really want to go back what's up, Eric?
Mary from Texas. Breaking Crime with the Big E.
Yes. Gotta love Eric, our homeboy.
Okay, so Diana Crusha is Kay and Larrick is Kay's daughter.
Yes.
So we had her on a live, our only other live that we did.
Mm-hmm. And I hopped on hers last week for about 20 minutes. It was Scotland in the house. Oh my gosh.
No way. I want to go there.
You, girl.
Jenny, we want to hear how you talk. I love hearing
Johnny. I know, right?
This is so cool.
My ancestors are from Scotland, and on the very early census in way back when, we were listed as MacArthurs because my maiden name is McCarter. And so their accent was so hard, they would say MacArthur. And so they thought it was MacArthur, but it's McCarter.
Wow.
Victoria, Australia. Oh my gosh. Love it.
So mother of two Amy's, all the coworkers from SAU say hi. We are from Minneapolis. Cool.
Awesome. Man, it's just crazy. Like, we literally thought when we started this, it would be our family listening. And guess who doesn't listen to our podcast? Pretty much.
None of our family.
My mom has started, though. Hey, Mom. Hey, Grammy.
I told my mom I talk about her sometimes. So she's like, I'm going to start listening.
Yeah, all right. She got to moderate us.
Yeah.
You guys always hear us.
Look.
Oh, yeah. Check this out, guys.
Oh, we got this, guys. It's kind of cool. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can get it with
like tilt it up, like you showed me in the beginning. Kind of like there.
So if you've liked our page and all, you're on here. So we now have to work on Russia and
LA, CC, my favorite city.
Yeah. So it's cool.
There's Mom. Hey, Mom. Pat McCarter. There's my mama.
There's Grandma Pat.
Hey, Mama. Look, we got to keep it clean. She'll take away Christmas gifts if I'm bad.
Newburgh, North Carolina. I have a friend that lives there.
St. Louis. Oh, hey. So I love St. Louis. My ex-husband is from St. Louis. We spent a lot of time up there, and I'm missing me some Emo's pizza and some food from the hill. We want to take the kids back there actually together. Just we vacation with our kids.
So
like
Maryland. I have relatives that live in Maryland. They're in Severn and I can't think of the other. They're near like in that area.
Seneca. Oh, Fee and me's from Seneca. Like that's our neighbor.
This is going really fast.
Hey, neighbor.
Yeah. Alberta, Canada. Cool. I bet it's cold up there.
Well, why don't we get started with some questions?
Yep. All right, moderator.
Time for you to moderate. Las Vegas. We want to come to Crime Con in March in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
All right. So what's our first question?
So Trina says, I've been wondering what a Chad Daybell case would look like if Lori is still deemed incompetent in 2023.
I think it's going to give us everything they've got against Lori.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the first of 2 parts, and it's going to be like a repeat. It's going to be a rerun. I think they're going to, since they're co-defendants, all the evidence is very much together.
Yeah.
So I think Pryor definitely wants to get this without her. He still had mentioned a motion to sever the cases. So I'm sure that, I don't think he's filed that, but I think it's going to be, I was thinking about this driving home today, what we've learned just with the Chandler and Gilbert dumps. I mean, those are against Charles and Brandon. I don't think we know the half of what's coming, and we won't know till Chad's trial, but what they have in relation to the murder of the kids, because they put a lot of stuff in those text messages. So I can only imagine. I think that the biggest thing for me is just going to be seeing what they have on them, which has to be a lot because they've got the death penalty for Chad on the books. And I'm sure that's going to be Lori too. So what they've got must be pretty big stuff.
My big thing with it, is it going to give Lori ammunition because she's going to know what's coming? If that makes sense.
It could work. They're
going to be able to angle a little bit different.
For sure. We got to say hey to Becky.
Hey, Becky
Davis.
Yep.
Yeah. So I do think that Mark Means will have an advantage with Chad going first. I mean, as much of an advantage as, well, Means and Archibald, if Means is still on the case at that point. I mean, really, like this last thing, I mean, I think you saw with Rob Wood, he's over it. Him and Lindsay Blake are over all this stuff now. It's like,
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
So Rebecca asked, have you guys both always been into true crime? What draws you to a deep dive into a particular case? I haven't always been involved in true crime. She has. And if I call her Hoopty, you guys just have to forgive me. That's what I call her. So
yeah, I've been Hoopty to her since 10th grade, and pretty much everybody in our town still calls me Hoopty.
Yeah.
I did this years ago on a totally different program. And the first case that really gripped my attention that I paid attention to was Jodi Arias. And so I started researching that case. I just thought it was crazy. I thought she was crazy, obviously. And started on a show called The Gold Patrol years ago. Used to do kind of a weekly internet show that was live, I think. It's kind of hard to remember. We did it actually with Kathy Russin of Long Crime. She would come on too.
I got on and watched that when you were on there.
Yeah, it's been forever ago. And I love Kathy. She's amazing over at Long Crime. But it was really, Sherlock's at the door. It's been really crazy because going from covering a case to sitting in that courtroom with her was insane. And there is a different air in the room with somebody who's done what they're accused of doing. Let me let this cat in.
She gonna let the cat in. So I see you. Lady Di, we know each other from high school. We became friends. We played sports together in high school. And we just shortcake. Are you calling me shortcake? Fruit Loop is shortcake.
He's so fat. He's been over at my brother's eating. Say hi, Sherlock.
Oh, there's Sherlock.
Hey, baby. Say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's when he sits on my stomach in the middle of the night now, I have dreams I'm being suffocated. So back to Jodi Arias, so it was really weird. We covered that case for months and months and months. And then the retrial, the penalty phase, I got to sit in that court case in the courtroom. Juan Martinez, Kirk Nurmi, Jodi, all of Travis's siblings. I still keep in touch with one of his sisters. And yes, this was very surreal. And Fruit Loop, if we get to go, and we're hoping to go to Chad's trial, it is a surreal feeling to sit in the room with somebody who's accused of doing these things. It sends a chill. I sat in the Colorado theater shooter trial for a while too. And I'm going to tell you, when James Holmes turns around and looks you in the eye and gives you a grin, it sends a chill up your spine.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
So Ellen asked, not trial related, have you ever had chocolate gravy? I have not, but it sounds really good.
I'm just going to say I wouldn't refuse it.
No, I would eat chocolate gravy.
Yeah, I would not refuse that at all.
So Abby asked, are there going to be any Melanies indicted? We don't know.
I think this is still very much a fluid investigation. Having said that, I think we're really deep into this now. We're 2 years, since the investigation started. They've been in jail a year or more. The part of me says no. I think maybe that, especially with Melanie Pulowski, it would rely on Lori or Chad selling her out and then digital evidence. So I kind of think if there wasn't enough digital evidence there, I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
And we don't know about the grand jury. I mean, I'm still not nervous that they haven't announced anything yet. I don't think there's a time limit on when they have to announce if they've been indicted. But you never know. Yeah. I mean, this case, I wouldn't be surprised in, the last minute people get charged, but I'm not going to be surprised if they're not, to be honest. We all know other people need to be in jail.
Yeah.
But having proof of that beyond a reasonable doubt's another thing, I think.
Yeah.
It's the burden's on prosecution.
So SJP is saying that chocolate gravy is amazing on pancakes and biscuits.
I mean, that sounds right up our alley. Fruit Loop, you take an insulin shot before we get started.
Exactly.
By the way, my shirt, Jimi Hendrix, Voodoo Child.
Hey, mine is Grogu. Don't be confused with Baby Yoda. It's not Baby Yoda, guys. It's Grogu.
It is so Baby Yoda. That's Baby
Yoda. It is not Baby Yoda. It is not Yoda.
So cute, though.
He is cute. So Emily asked, favorite Christmas traditions? Oddest thing you've heard in the last year concerning a case? What is something you want to do in 2022 that you've never done before?
It's a good question. My favorite Christmas tradition is over because my grandfather passed away coming up on 5 years. As a kid, on Christmas Eve, we would go to one family member's house. And after that, he would take me to this place called Tiny Town. And it's just this Christmas village with miniature stuff everywhere. And I look forward to that every year because he would have Christmas music playing in the car. And he was my buddy. And my favorite are you really? Dude, I might meet you up there with my kids because it's been a hot minute.
Mm-hmm.
With my kids, just like Christmas morning, their faces, it's just like I just enjoy it every year because it's changing fast. I got teenagers and my teenagers have a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and Sarah Rose is 10 and doesn't believe anymore.
Yeah, sorry, you getting old there. Yeah.
Your mom is getting old, but whatever.
Yeah. She is. Mom, you hear that? So my favorite Christmas tradition is probably just family oriented. Just being with family, which what we always do it on Christmas Day. So Christmas Eve, we don't do much. So
yeah, we've gotten to where we don't either, as kind of the older generation of our families have passed away. That's where we would go. Oddest thing you've heard in the last year concerning a case. I'm going to tell you.
Daybell, Vallow.
All of Daybell, Vallow, all that. But I'm going to say, I think the last year, probably this roadside suicide attempt by Alec Murdaugh. I mean, that just floored me. When I got the news alert that he had been shot, I thought somebody's caught up to that dude. Like somebody got him. And then as the day went on and the story had holes in it, I thought, this is just so bizarre. And it's even more bizarre now that we kind of know.
Yeah.
Fruit Loop, what's something you want to do in 2022 you've never done before?
Well, it's not skydiving or bungee jumping. I can tell you.
Wussy. Such a wuss.
I'm not doing it. If God wanted me to be a bird, he would have made me a fly. He would have made me a bird. I'm not a bird, so I'm not doing any of that. I don't know.
The new Harry Potter comes out in January. I know. It's The Secrets of Dumbledore, I think. I'm huge Harry Potter nut. Me and my kids are. Something I want to do in 2022. It's always concert related. I really want to take my oldest to see Stevie Nicks because, I have never seen her, and neither obviously has Taylor. That's my goal for 2022.
Yep. So this next question by CC: do you think Eddie Smith was paid by Alex to murder his wife and son? Almost $2 million for drugs. I don't buy it. Good point.
I don't buy it either. It's very. What'd you say? Must have been snorting gold dust if that was. Yeah. I mean, look, the last payment came right before Maggie and Paul were murdered. Could be a big coincidence, but you got to read between the lines. And for me, the next day when they said there's no threats to the public, told me right out of the gate, things didn't add up. It's close to that family. So I'm looking for something as far as him being indicted for those murders, because otherwise you would have a huge manhunt in South Carolina for two very prominent family members to be murdered like that.
Exactly.
I think he totally set it up.
Sweet Sherry says, what do you think about the Laundries and Brian's 20 thou in the bank?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Laundries from the beginning hid what they knew. And I think they probably knew he killed Abby from the beginning, because why would they not even, I mean, if he says, hey, we had a fight, I left her up there. Well, they would answer the phone and say, look, here's what he's saying. That's my opinion. I think they knew early on he had murdered her, and whether or not they face charges, we shall see. I mean, I don't know. It's a big manhunt if they knew stuff that they let police do this huge search that was millions of dollars when they knew the truth all along that
Sure.
He was. So I don't know.
Here's my thing. Didn't he go back to clean out some stuff, and wasn't they talking about money was tight? Dude, you sitting with all that money?
Yeah. I'd like to be sitting on 20 thou right now. I ain't even gonna kid. Yeah.
Gatlinburg is awesome. We love Gatlinburg.
Yeah, Gatlinburg's great. I haven't been in a long time though.
Yeah.
We wanted to go to that crime museum. That's where Chattanooga.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to go to the crime. They have like Ted Bundy's VW. They have Bonnie and Clyde's car that was all shot up. Favorite food, my grandma's chicken and dumplings all day long.
Okay, I have several because I just like food. Her grandma's chicken and dumplings are excellent.
Yes.
I love sausage, gravy, and biscuits is one of my favorite. And I'm a diabetic. I'm naming all these carb loaded.
I've had an education about diabetes the last few weeks. I called you the other day. I was like, how does this pen work?
I've never seen with it. So your Uncle Steve had the bubble in the insulin pen. I've never seen it that big.
Oh man, it squirted everywhere and went in his mouth. And we're like, dude, are you about to fall out from like low? We were like, go eat a peanut butter cup.
Yeah, go eat all the food. That's what my dad sometimes injects the wrong insulin. So he does his fast acting for his slow acting, and it's a totally different thing. And we just tell him, just go eat for like 5 hours.
That was perfect for your dad.
Yeah, he loves it.
He loves to eat.
Catherine says, I have to work, so I'll miss the live broadcast, but I'd like to hear from Fruit Loop about her most memorable subpoena serving experience. I can tell you the funniest thing. I was serving papers in Pickens County, and I get to this house, and they tell you when you're serving papers, you always ask a kid, because a kid will tell you the truth. So I get to this house, go up to the door, the lady comes out, and I ask, is so-and-so here? And she says, no, she doesn't live here. And there's two little stair-step boys, one probably 7 and 5. And they look at her and look back at me and look at her again, and they go, well, that's her right there.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Them boys, they got in trouble that night. So that's like one of my funniest. And getting chased by dogs is always funny.
Dude, I'd have paid to see that, because I'd have been...
Oh, I'm running. I was like Peter walking on water. I was out of there. It's them little ankle biters. When you turn your back on them, they come and nip at you.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, see, sausage gravy and biscuits is great. See, everybody likes that.
Good day from Australia. What's going on, Lee?
Ooh, Australia.
Do you think Chad's kids were actually
An active
Adonica?
part.
Did I say that
of the
right?
sport.
Adonica? That's a really cool name.
Adonica. That is cool. I've never heard that name.
Do you think Chad's kids were actually an active part of his budding cult? I don't know. I really don't think so, to be honest. I think Emma, if any of them, she talked on those forums about Julie Rowe in defense of her, if you remember.
Yep.
But I really don't know. I don't think Tammy Daybell was. I don't think she didn't seem like, from what we know about her, that she would have went off that far.
Yeah.
I don't know about Chad's kids. I just don't see it. But then again,
But I'm gonna tell you, this case has been nothing normal about it. So
there hasn't. I mean, look, Kresha's there.
hey,
Kresha says that this is a picture of JJ's aunt.
yeah,
Pretty Lies. Hey, ladies, we just want to thank you for your overwhelming support and dedication to this case. #love always wins. Yes, it does always win. And girlfriend, we there till the verdict and beyond.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Y'all, you guys are always going to have a special place in our hearts for
Yep.
sure.
Got to get justice.
How and when did you guys become friends? Sophomore year in high school? We've known each other for years before that. We went to middle school together,
Yeah.
but really didn't hang out until that sophomore year. And I started playing softball for the first time. You had been playing for years, and it just went from there. And
Yeah.
you were like the one friend that could drive. So we just tore those roads up, man, listening like to good music and driving around.
Yeah. So I was the first of our group of friends I got my license right before school let out for the summer. So it was great.
Oh, it was the best. And like, we just had so much fun.
Yeah.
Do you
my
remember
car
we would go to Burger King and order like with a megaphone?
Yeah. Yeah. I got a megaphone for Christmas, like the blah, 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 the loud megaphone. And we would order and make it choppy so they couldn't understand what we were saying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Ashley says, I'm in North Carolina and love you guys. Gigi, I saw you on the live chat regarding Durst and have listened to you guys ever since. You're amazing. Thanks for continuing to always post and make this podcast a priority. Thanks,
Thank
Ashley.
you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. It's
Cool.
fun. I love what we do. It's a full-time job now, but man, like it's awesome because we have just the best group of listeners. Seriously, like there's no drama.
No.
There's no fighting on our page, which is how we like it. Do you think Zulema will be indicted? She was heavily involved. This is from Cece from LA. I don't think so.
Yeah, we know she's got immunity, so
she got partial immunity, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, look, never say never. I would do a happy dance if more people were in jail for, not doing a darn thing when they knew what becoming a zombie meant. How can you ignore that? But here's the thing. If they don't get indicted for stuff that happened in this case, they got to lay their head down at night. And I hope when they do, they see JJ and Tylee and Charles and Tammy, because the reality of it is when they didn't step up and say, whoa, okay, now you're saying Tylee's a zombie, JJ's a zombie. What happened to Charles? What happened? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, how can you just sit by?
Well, when you hear their text, it's really weird. It's really weird. So Diane asked, Fruit Loop kids, how many? You seem to always be around them on retreats or trips. So I don't have any kids. I help my best friend Brianne take care of her kids. I watch them during the day. So that's why I'm always around kids. But I've always been around Hoopty's kids.
Yeah.
I coached for a long time, so I was around teenagers. And I do mission trips and stuff, which include younger teenage kids. So
yeah, and I have 3, and they're awesome, and y'all hear about them all the time. And so they're out for Christmas break. So my house is going to become like a real action version of the Hunger Games in the next few days, because that's inevitably what happens. I should sell tickets.
Yeah. So Carolyn, I've never seen it spelled like that. Carolyn.
That's cool. Yeah.
Do you think Chad's kids have now read the love novel to Lori?
Loin fire.
Oh my goodness.
Probably.
So
my big question is, has any of this new evidence swayed their dedication to their dad? And it's kind of like that Anna Duggar bit.
Yep.
If by now they don't realize that they were played and that they were lied to profusely at the expense of their mother, then I don't really know what it would take at this point. I mean, the last time we heard from them on 2020, they thought he was framed. And I mean, we've had 2 document dumps that show he wasn't framed, that he was very active in all this. In my opinion, one of the 2 masterminds, obviously. So people just put up, rose-colored glasses, and I've seen it in other cases where the family, you have a guilty verdict, boom. I mean, evidence was overwhelming, and the family still says, yeah, but I don't think he really did it. So,
Yeah.
I hope they've seen the light because they need to heal. They need to accept this and move on.
Yep. So Becky asked, what were your most exciting jobs? What would your dream job be?
My most exciting job was a few years ago. I was working at a high school, our alma mater, actually, and they didn't have a teacher for the special ed class for that year. She up and walked out like maybe the 3rd day of school. And I had worked with these kids for a year or 2 before, helping out when they needed it, and mostly autism at different levels. But so they said, hey, do you want to teach this class this year? And that was literally the funnest 9 months of my life. At the hospital, I saw one of my seniors that year. We worked on getting her a job, and she got a job at a hospital here in Greenville. And so I was up there with my aunt, and they called me Miss Gigi. So I heard Miss Gigi, and I look, and it's her, and she's still at that job, and she's doing really good. And then Taekwondo, one of my other buddies, I still go get her once a month, and we go out for coffee. Like, I just love, all those kids will always have a place in my heart. My dream job would be a radio DJ for 70s and 80s music. Like, that's my other than this, that's my dream job, is to be a DJ for 70s and 80s music. Yeah.
So I did the same job. It was actually the same class, just years before that. So taking care of autistic kids was really just awesome because they're amazing. Special needs kids are just so fun. So that was probably one of my most exciting jobs. I do ministry now, so part of my job is like hiking. So I like doing that. So.
Look, this is my Uncle Steve on screen. This is my Aunt Angie's amazing husband, who has been by her side since, the first minute she got sick. What's up, Angie and Steve? Love y'all so, so much.
Yeah, they're so fun.
They are the best, and they are just, oh man, she's doing so good. I'm so proud of her.
Yep. Oh, Crusher says you would rock that job. Yeah, the DJ job. Yeah, what's DJ funny job, is your oldest, Taylor, gets all that from you, and she knows like what songs mean and why they wrote it, and
Sorry I'm late. I want to know if Gigi got her hip replacement yet. I had mine September 2020 at the age of 33. Best decision of my life. I'm going to tell you, I have these little magic injections that they're giving me to put this off. And so when I get them, I feel amazing. What I really need is a knee replacement. I'm not even kidding y'all. Like, I'm going to be the bionic woman by the time I'm 60. Fruit Loop knows I have a problem with my joints. So they pop out really easy. Like my shoulder, if I'm putting on my clothes weird,
it's freakish.
It'll dislocate. And then like, I have to put it back. Sometimes I have to ram into a chair. And it's really painful, but I broke my knee probably 20 years ago doing a flying sidekick in kickboxing, trying to show off. And like, I went 6 feet in the air, right? Looked great. I was like, yeah, kiddos, look at this. And then I landed, and then my kneecap was behind my knee. And I've had like 7 or 8 surgeries on this knee. So I'm hoping like the hip stays the same. No, I sound like a grandma over here. I'm like,
Granny, your knee's freakish. It's gross. I don't even like looking at it. So.
I can totally manipulate my knee.
No, I'm good.
Look, when I was pregnant, I had very active kids. So it looked like, something was about to bust out of my belly and dance around. And one time I got Fruit Loop to feel Sarah Rose kicking, and I thought she literally, y'all, she was like, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gross.
I couldn't do it.
Oh, Kresha, you are so sweet.
Oh,
Thank you very, very much. Kresha sent a super sticker.
Oh, super. I saw her comment about that she likes that I go and explore. Yeah, hiking's fun, but I always tell the people that I apologize for my heavy breathing. They can't hear nature because I'm hiking with them or whatever. And then you always only have to be faster. If you see a bear, you only have to be faster than one person. You don't have to win the race. You just got to be faster than one. So,
but every time that we go hiking, we have a mishap.
Oh yeah. The one time I about broke my elbow.
Yeah.
I was trying to warn you of not to fall,
She was like,
And it's
Hoopty, don't fall. And the next thing I see is like Fruit Loop levitating flat.
I was
And
trying
was
to say, don't step on this rock. It's slick. And as soon as I hit it, I was like, boom.
Man, your elbow was gnarly.
Oh yeah, it was gross. So 20. Oh, there's Crush's post. Yeah, we go explore a lot. So 20 asked, why do you think none of Chad's kids was never seen as a dark figure or zombie? I don't think he went there with them.
No,
that's my
because
personal opinion.
they were his kids, so they were never an inconvenience to him. They were the opposite to where, unfortunately, I think for the life that Lori and Chad wanted to have together didn't involve JJ and Tylee or Charles or Tammy. Unfortunately, it's just if you look at it, all that close relation to the center of Lori is gone that she had when she met Chad, which is Charles, JJ, Tylee.
Yeah.
And so I really do just think that that was part of Chad's plan.
Mm-hmm.
Money, it was all.
Yeah.
Happy Christmas to you and your families. Thank you so much. I'm
Mama T.
ready for Christmas to come and go.
I'm ready. I love cold weather and I love Christmas.
What case do you first remember following ever? Jodi Arias for me was the one that I actually read the legal papers. Susan Smith, though, that was local for us. That was just right down the road. Remember, she put her two boys, Alex and Michael? Alex.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and put them in the car, rolled them in the lake, and then made this. Thank you, JC New York 11 for that super sticker. We really appreciate it.
Cool.
We're going to go have breakfast together. So that was local for us. If you remember, she accused a carjacking and then days later it was revealed that she did it. So that one really, we were in high school when that one happened. Yeah. And then OJ, if you remember, we got a scholarship to play college ball. And that first year was the OJ trial. And we watched that verdict come through in the athletic director's office. And they were all like, yeah, innocent. And I'm sitting there like,
yeah,
innocent.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. The Susan Smith case was crazy. It was crazy. It was the first time for me that I'd actually seen a mother that, a case where a mother had just, because you're kind of naive as a teenager. You just think everybody's got it good as you do, because we both had amazing childhoods. Our parents are super awesome. Both of our parents are still married after all these years still. And my mom was so cute. She said the other day, your dad walked by me and he said, you still make my heart flutter. And I'm just like, they're so cute.
See, what's funny, your parents are like that, and my mom and dad are like the honeymooners.
They are.
My dad is not, he doesn't fuss or anything. He's just quiet.
Yeah, your parents are fun, though. Like, her parents are comedians. They're the funnest to be around. They're a lot like, wow, thank you, Jessica Garrison. Oh, that's my lunch buddy right there. This is who I met for lunch a couple of months ago here in Greenville, and I hope to do it again.
Sweet.
Sweet. Hey, Jessica.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
I think the other part of that question was, what's your favorite ice cream? Like, I don't know if you guys have it. We have it's a Brewster's, and they have amazing butter pecan and key lime pie is really good. So
I'm not a big ice cream eater.
I'm a diabetic. I love sweets. So.
Oh yeah, Fruit Loop. Like she'll get like a plate of sweets, and then she'll give herself insulin first and then eat.
Yeah, I try not to do it a lot though. So.
I don't know though. Like our family makes homemade ice cream. My Aunt Angie, she makes, and my mom, they make homemade ice cream. So I think that would be my favorite.
Yep. So Lindsay asked, what in the justice system related job did you do for work? She didn't. She was in a medical field.
Yeah, so I was in the medical field originally, like, out of high school. I got a surge tech degree. I used to go on medical mission trips to Haiti, which I love and miss. But I did a show called The Gold Patrol many years. It's been like 10 years ago now, where it was an internet show, once a week, and we had Kathy Ruskin come on from law. She had court chatter at that point. And so we just followed cases and kind of did what we do a little bit, but not quite as in depth, because somebody asked earlier, how do we decide, like, deep dives? What do we decide? With Lori and Chad, I called her as soon as I read the article. I was like, you need to read this story. Like, I know you don't follow true crime, but this is like the craziest case I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And then that's, as you guys know, that's how the day they found the kids' bodies was the day this podcast was launched. I was like, let's do it. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
But so the only legal experience I have is doing that years ago, but just kind of reading and learning as I went. And even since then, but I took some years off, and then Lori and Chad sucked me back in, and here we are.
Yeah. So AB, I don't know what lights you're talking about, the Christmas lights or the ones on the wall. The ones on the wall are like mounted like in the wall, little lampshades on them. If you remember, we started this because we would sit around on the couch and watch and talk. And that's basically what our show is.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally, we would sit and watch Datelines even before Lori and Chad, or we would watch, The First 48 or Forensic Files and things like that. And we would just sit and, chit chat. But it really is, I'm glad that came through on the podcast, where it's more of us just chatting about this stuff. We know the facts.
Yeah.
But with this podcast, like, the most important thing to us from day one has always been facts. In this day and age, the internet, you see how it can help cases tremendously. There's been so many, even recently, things have been solved by people online who have read about it or listened to podcasts. But at the same time, in every case we've covered, misinformation can just run rampant. And law enforcement has to stop what they're doing to take time to address rumors that circulate. So for us, it's just always been about, we don't want to put it out unless we know it can be proven it's a fact. Because not only do we not want to hinder any investigations, because this stuff spreads like wildfire, we don't want to hurt the families that are in real time dealing with these losses, because I think sometimes we forget that there are real family members that are waking up, dealing with this every waking moment, going to bed and doing it again day after day after day. And so we just always want to help those families and not hurt,
Yeah.
And I've always said, if we ever hurt a family member, I'll step away and never come back, because that's contrary.
Yeah, that's not what we want to do.
Right.
There's been some questions on some stuff on here that I've saw, and it's like rumor, and I'm like, no, we ain't even touching it.
Yeah. Have we ever lived together as roommates? Nope.
Hey, we were at college. Remember, we were gonna roommate, and they had a mass enrollment, and they were gonna put us in a closet with like 6 people, and we were like,
Yeah.
Remember, your mom had bought all the like the matching comforters and all that. Yeah.
She still has not let me forget that. She just recently, not too long ago, said, remember when I bought like all that stuff for y'all's dorm room, and then you decided playing college ball was not for you? No, we've never lived together. Like, Fruit Loops vacationed in the past with, my family and my kids and my husband and all that. But no, we've never been roommates ever.
No.
Like, I mean, I don't even think we really ever spent the night together in high school or anything ever.
Yeah. So Angela says, how did you two get your nicknames? So mine is my last name is Looper, so it just comes easily.
Yeah.
Hoopty got hers because she drove a big Hoopty car.
My mom had a Lincoln Town car, and the first year that I played softball, we got the whole team. I don't know how many girls, probably 12.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't safe. But so we get everybody in that Lincoln Town car to go up to the 7-Eleven to get drinks before our game. And one of the girls, Lavette, just out of the blue said, Lord, this is a hoopty. And it stuck.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm 44 and I'm in the store and I'll hear somebody say hoopty. And I'm like,
yeah,
because it's here, people still know us as Hoop and Loop.
Yep.
Wow. Where are you at?
Sherlock's had some haze from some people on there.
Sherlock is just being a lazy slug. He's getting so fat, y'all. He's going to all the neighbors' houses and eating, and then at night he thinks he can lay right here while I'm asleep, and he's probably 15 pounds now.
He ain't playing. So, Language of Horses. I love that username.
Yeah.
Is Lori getting visitors? We honestly don't know. I wouldn't think so, but I don't know. I guess it depends on. We don't even know where she is.
Yeah, that's been the big question. Is she at a hospital or is she at the facility? I kind of would think maybe at the hospital because we had this issue that has been the source of all this hoopla about the homework and all that. I would assume she probably can call people though.
Yeah. But if you think about it, so remember when Mean subpoenaed the person out of state, so it's out of state. So
right. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I would say if she's talking to anybody, it's probably like her sister, her mom. I don't know about Colby. Colby and Kelsey have a baby due soon. And so we're happy for them and hope everything goes well. And your brother's cat coming in makes me have belly laughs. Okay. Yeah. It's funny until there's a cat fight on your bed at 4 a.m. with fur flying up your nose and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that the dog door just, God forbid, like a raccoon comes in. Can you talk about Heather? Can you talk about Jana Duggar being arrested? I don't know that she was actually like arrested from what the family said. Look, I'm trying not to ride Jana too hard. It seems like an honest mistake. Yeah, kid could have really got hurt or killed with that. But I said on the podcast about a week ago, I had an experience where my 3-year-old at Thanksgiving within 30 seconds was out the door and across the street. And I'm like a mama bear. I'm almost to a fault when they were little because I was just so protective. So I don't know. She doesn't have kids. It doesn't seem malicious to me. Yeah, it's hard to think about, but I think the timing of that, because this happened in September.
Yeah.
And so now we have this verdict for Josh that, it seems to be Jim Bob's golden child. It seems to me like that's a little deflection. Try to get some of the heat off him.
Yeah.
I just love your accent so much. We don't have accents, Audrey.
Audrey.
I told my mom last night. My mom says Charleston. I say Charleston. She says Charleston.
I just say Charleston. Charleston.
My mom says Charleston. Can Jenny, you go ahead and read that. I'm going to let Sherlock out because he'll attack me.
Can Lori be declared competent at any time, or they will not decide until after the 180 days last ordered end? I think
she can be declared competent at any time.
Yeah, but they'll have a hearing and they'll have to bring all that information back and say. I mean, the last time they didn't bring much information, so they had to go back and get more, right?
Right. They didn't have the report from the doctor, but if you remember, they said that if she's declared competent, like they may rush the stuff because she still hasn't had her first appearance on the murder charges.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to make up with her. But it can go in and out. I mean, she can be competent, then she's back to incompetent. And I just feel like with her, that maybe is how it's going to go for as long as she can ride that train.
Yeah. Thank you, Mary.
Fruit Loop, your home looks as warm and as inviting as you. I have to say, look, Fruit Loop and I have been best friends for 30 years, but like Fruit Loop really is like the warmest friend. Out of everybody that I've ever been a friend with, she is the only friend in my entire life that never has looked at me and judged me, or even when I've made colossal mistakes, she's just been there for me. And she may have said, "Oh, I don't know if this is the best idea." And I'm like, well, you don't know everything. But I mean,
it was just that one time in high school.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That was that one time.
Right.
You remember that?
I remember a few of those. We're going to have to get back together and after this, and you tell me which.
I'll tell you before I share it on here. Yeah. No, it wasn't bad. It wasn't your fault. It was just some party. Remember those people were going to go party on somebody else's land? Like it wasn't even their land. You remember that?
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah,
they were going to have a bonfire on somebody else's land. And I was like, does that even make sense? Like,
yeah, there's a few things, but no, Fruit Loop really, other than like my family, because I'm just super close to my family, she is the one person I could tell anything to. And I know that she's just going to give me advice that comes from the heart. So yeah.
We both do that for each other. So.
For sure.
So Carla asked, what are the chances that Alex Murdaugh killed his wife and son or had them killed? What are the chances he had a legit oxy habit? I just don't see spending $2.8 million on Oxy. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I do think that I don't think he killed Maggie and Paul. I don't think he actually pulled the trigger. I do think he had it arranged. There's a lot of there's some motive there. Paul had just disgraced the family name. It was about to cost them a bunch of money with lawsuits and everything. Paul was probably, well, I don't know if Paul ever would have been convicted with the hold they had on that area. But we know Maggie was thinking about a divorce. And according to people, she had hired a forensic accountant. So a lot of things were about to come to light. According to a friend of hers, she didn't know how he made his money. She just knew it was there.
Yeah.
So I think he had plenty of motive, but I don't think he pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I agree.
Oxy habit, I don't doubt it. You know, I mean, you could take somebody who's homeless. You could take somebody who has multi-million dollars. We see it all the time. You know, I think it's very possible he had an oxy habit.
Hey, that's your word right there.
I love it. You call it
JCNY says, I love you call jail the pokey.
I do call it gel the pokey. And it's just something I've always called it. And it's probably not like professional for a podcast, but you know, we do what we do without apology. It's the pokey. He gonna be into pokey.
Okay, so AB, yeah, she's surprised you're not at a concert of some kind. I agree.
I
would a concert.
I wish, man. I don't have any tickets right now, and I'm jonesing. Like I said, Stevie Nicks is like my big one this year. My parents are going on a rock and romance cruise, and there's like Foreigner and all these really good bands. And one year I'm gonna have to bust up and go with them.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
So I'm like old school, and like I love sports. I love like any kind of sport, but I'm getting to the point where I'd rather watch it on TV. So I have my own bathroom, my own food. And
right. Concerts though, I will get in that pit. I'll be like 80 years old, sagging and gumming everything, and I'm gonna be in the middle like, rah!
Yeah, that's you. It's all you.
Yes.
Hey, Mikhail. Mikhail finally got on.
Hey, Mikhail.
Yeah. Okay. Jamie asked, did Tammy believe in the same things as Chad and Lori? Did she believe the whole dark and light thing and people's bodies being taken over by zombies? I say no.
I don't think so. I think that honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if she had no idea about a lot of the things that Chad was saying on these forums and to this group of knuckleheads. I think I could totally see it to where she had no clue how deep he was in left field. Yeah. That's just my opinion.
Well, I think up until a certain point, they're talking about your shirts. Up until a certain point, he was still in the church. So later on that he got booted. So excommunicated, I'm sorry.
That was after he had been arrested. So
yeah. They want a cool name for their followers. They're our followers, so they want a cool name. I don't know. Huh.
What? Wait, is this a show Pretty Little Liars? Well, no, we don't want to call you guys liars. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to get on that because I love
your stuff. That's all you right there.
I'm gonna think about it. I think in lyrics, so it's like that's how we got our name. Yeah, you know? So I was listening to a Winona Judd song, and I was like, she sings "Pretty Lies and Alibis," and I was like, that'd be a really cool name for a true crime podcast. And then boom,
there it is. Deanna asked, "What is the max that Josh Duggar could get?" Okay, this has been all over. Everywhere, 20 or 40 years. I'm confused because one of the charges was dropped. He could not be convicted on both.
I have read up to 40 years. I haven't read anything about the prosecutors dropping anything because he was convicted on both counts just last week. It's up to 40 years. However, I know a lot of legal people don't feel that, 5 to 12 is kind of the average because he's a first-time offender. And then receiving is a harsher penalty than possessing, or maybe that's different. We had somebody say that the prosecutor dropped some stuff, but that might have been before it went to trial because he was convicted on both. Yeah. And it's up to 20 years for each count. So he was found guilty on the 2 counts. That's my understanding. I have literally Googled this till I'm blue in the face. I don't see anything
exactly
about them dropping. So
yeah, there was like one article and it didn't make sense. So what it was saying.
It says legally he cannot be held on both. So yeah, maybe that's something that like we're just not aware of, but it's still saying up to 40 years on like law and crime and your bigger news outlets.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yep. So Cece asked, Melanie, the niece, should be charged with accessory. She was involved in the attempted shooting of Brandon. What do you think?
Absolutely.
I totally agree.
Ain't no way she didn't know. And if
Mm-mm.
you remember when they were questioning her, she had no change when they said Brandon was shot at. No reaction. The father of my beautiful kids. It wasn't like, oh my gosh. She didn't even ask his okay.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the interview, the cop, or she said, is he okay? And the cop said he's alive. And for her, that was probably like, oh no, he's alive. I don't see how she didn't know. There's no way you'll ever convince me. Whether or not there's enough digital proof, probably not.
Yeah.
I just feel like she would have been charged at this point, but I still haven't written off this grand jury. Like I said earlier, they don't have a timetable of when they have to announce charges. Who knows what happened in that grand jury room? They'll indict a ham sandwich. That's the old saying. They err on it doesn't take a lot to get a grand jury to indict. So we shall see. We're way deep into this, y'all. That's my only concern.
Yep. Amy asked, do you think Anna Duggar's parents are worried about her and her kids? I would hope so.
I hope so. But I'm going to tell you, man, these people are raised that your husband is the beginning and end of everything. And if he says this goes, that's how it goes. Her face said a lot to me. Leaving there, she looked defeated, but I just don't know that she'll ever do anything about it. I think she will wait on him until, 20 years later, however long he gets. I don't know. I just don't see her changing. If she stayed through that trial and came every day and still mouthed "I love you" to him, she ain't changed her mind. I don't think her parents are part of that whole whatever it is they're a part of. So I don't know. Maybe in their private thoughts, but if that were my daughter, I would have had her home a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. Yep. For real. So Amy asked, what are your thoughts on the Rittenhouse verdict? That was also crazy.
I don't know. I didn't even watch it, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if it has to do with anything political, I don't even touch it with a 10-foot pole.
We agreed on that early.
Yeah. We've just been so busy with the document dumps that I've never even watched the video of what happened that night. But no, I used to talk a lot of politics, but I mean, it's pointless to me. And then I was like, but we did say that first day, we're never doing anything political that would divide our listener base. That's contrary to what we want to do.
Yeah. Yep. So we have some people saying they're getting their t-shirts together for,
I know that's awesome.
Cool.
You won't regret it. It's so beautiful. Mm-hmm. I mean, the work is just, it's art.
Yep.
That you can just cuddle up with. Do you think Amelia says, do you think Alec Murdaugh will make the $7 million bond? I do not.
No.
As we say in the South, he does not have a pot to pee in.
Yeah.
All of his assets are frozen. And I do not think anybody who knows him at this point is willing to stick their neck out as big and worldwide as this case is. I think he is on his own these days. So no, I think he's going to be into pokey for the rest of his life. Oh, Susie, thank you so much for the $10. We appreciate that, thanks. Susie.
Yeah. So
shoe size. Wait. Somebody asked for our shoe sizes. I'm a 9. I'm a
9.5.
Yep.
9.5. So jury, thank you for your comment on my tree and all looking like a picture postcard.
Oh, Lady Di says, I saw Fleetwood Mac years ago. Best concert ever. I'm so jealous. Susie, thank you again for the $10. She said, you are awesome. And you guys are awesome. Have either of you lived anywhere else other than South Carolina? I lived in Clemson, but no, that's South Carolina. Nope.
I moved to West Virginia for 3 years. So I moved in the cold, high mountains near Pittsburgh, actually. It was like, I don't know, 20 minutes from Pittsburgh, maybe.
Guys, that was like some of the saddest times and the happiest times of my life. Sad because my best friend was so far away. But then I had my first baby. I had Taylor while she was gone. And then she came back and she was around for Mason and Sarah Rose. And she's Aunt Fruit Loop. Like, they love her like another mother.
Yep, they're good kids.
Yes.
So Diana says, I love antiques. Oh, I do too.
Oh,
Her house is 1890s. That's very cool, Diana.
Rosemary says, just getting here. How's your dear auntie? She's doing much better. Thank you. It's going to be a road of recovery, but man, she's defied a lot of odds. 3 weeks ago tonight, she was in emergency surgery and that surgeon looked at us and said, I don't know if she's going to make it.
Yeah.
And it was a roller coaster few days, but she's doing great. She's like my mom, my bonus mom. And so thank you for asking. We're, me and my Uncle Steve and my mom and my Grammy and all, we just all pitched in, and she will be taken good care of.
Yep. So somebody said, Kathy, that her cat Bobby McGee says to tell Sherlock hello. She's
Sherlock,
from West Virginia. Yeah.
Do I think Buster had something to do? It's possible. I just don't count anything out at this point. I've heard rumors about some of this stuff locally. People that knew the murder. I know people that know the Murdaws and all that. It's hard to tell. I don't know that we've seen the last of the arrest in that case.
Yeah. I don't know either.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Yeah.
St. Pete. Ooh, I've never been to St. Pete.
Is the Oxford school shooting political? Just wondering if you agree with people saying that the parents should be held accountable. If that's political, I'll think of a different question. Here's my point on Oxford. I don't think it's political. We're talking about kids being murdered in one of the places that they're supposed to be safe. Thank you, Julie, for the super sticker. We really appreciate that. Here's my thought. And I'm not political about it, but my feeling is if you have firearms in your house and you have kids, I think it's your responsibility to not make those accessible to your kids. I think it's the same to me as if parents load kids up with alcohol and they leave and go get in a DUI accident. The parents get charged as contributing to the delinquency of a minor. I think the reason Oxford has become a little bit political is because people try to make it a Second Amendment thing. That's the gun thing, right? Second Amendment.
Yeah.
I don't know. Clearly I did not pay attention to civics, y'all. I'm tired. But I do think that, if I'm not saying take people's guns away, just be responsible. And if your kid has access to your firearm and it's there, maybe
be safe. Yeah.
It's just, had they not bought him a gun and obviously didn't, monitor him with that gun, if it means that these school shootings stop, if parents, and I know it's not always parents, I know the guns don't always come from the homes. The Columbine kids got them from friends. Some of them were from friends. I just think anybody who, I'm not trying to, I just think you got to be responsible. Just like you don't liquor kids up at your house.
Yep. Liquor. They're going to laugh at that. Don't liquor them up.
Yeah. CC, Gigi, get your money back from that credit card thief. Not all of it. Bank of America's a little slow, but I did get the police report and they are investigating. So they've been to the house of the shipping address. Nana ain't getting her denture cream. Poor Nana.
Pueblo, Colorado. Never been there.
Yeah, I love Colorado. Oh my gosh. I'm going to take my kids.
Oh, we got a Myrtle Beacher.
Oh, yeah, I got a house in Myrtle Beach, Ocean Lakes. What's up? I have to get some coffee when I'm down there. Let's see here. Oh, did I just take something off? I'm sorry.
It's okay. Summer, they were asking about the Summer Wells. I think it's a sad case. We really haven't looked much into it, so I couldn't really answer a lot. And I think somebody asked us how we pick what cases. We really just research and something that just draws us in. If it just seems like it's going to be kind of a crazy, like Murdaugh or Lori and Chad, where at every turn it's, oh, thank you, Stephanie. We appreciate that. So sometimes they just find us, what's the one you wanted to start researching, Fruit Loop? The two girls. Oh, it's the Delphi case.
Yeah. We're going to start looking into that, doing way back, start from the beginning, start doing some episodes on that. And and then sometimes you guys suggest things and we look into them.
Yeah. Like our missing persons cases that we do, we get a lot of you guys reaching out. Somebody just actually sent me one earlier that I'm going to look into. So
Yeah. Amelia says, are you going to drop merch? We have merch now. If you go to prettyliesandalibis.com, we have some merch up. The one thing that we had to pull our normal glowy logo because it was just printing terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have the glow, but you can go there and see it. And we don't set the prices for that. We just give them the logo. So yeah, we do prettyliesandalibis.com.
Yeah. And if we didn't hear your or like answer your question, we're sorry, but honestly, we'll go back and read through all of them.
Yeah. And we can do them on the podcast, the ones we missed. Are you still planning to come to Idaho? Julie asked for the Daybell trial. I'd love to say, hey, yes, we're going to be up there, even if we have to sit in the overflower in the parking lot, and we're going to do some live shows from that trial. And we would totally love to meet up with the local Rexburg people. It would be fun. I told Kresha that when they're up there for trial, we're just going to have fun in the evenings because it's heavy stuff, but we try to make it to where we have fun even talking about heavy stuff because you got to laugh. And that's just how we are. If we were to try to do a podcast and not make it fun, like it would not flow.
Yeah.
We just try not to make fun of anybody at the expense of anybody. It's just
most of mine are movie quotes. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, jury file. They offering to give us some information. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Lindsay Sierra, thank you for the PayPal donation. That's really sweet.
Cool.
We appreciate you guys. Like, I'm always blown away that people want to give us any donation, but it helps tremendously because we have to pay for the podcast hosting and all that. And we don't charge our members. We're not going to do Patreons and stuff like that because there have been times in both of our lives where if we enjoyed doing something and it cost us $20 a month, we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So
we honestly like just sitting. I like sitting listening to you guys ask questions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Rexburg is a nice place. Just don't drink the Kool-Aid at the Cracker Barrel.
Is it bad?
Noted.
Oh, okay, got it.
I know laughing once in a while to see if you can. Stephanie says, I think you should try to do a no laughing show once to see if you can. I bet that would be hysterical.
I don't think I could.
When I said defarted, when I said that Melanie defarted, I'm going to tell you right now, I had to pinch myself off camera so I can make it through the next sentence. I was like, y'all, I could laugh for the next 30 minutes because looking at her is what gets me.
Yeah.
And Fruit Loop has the most infectious laugh when she really gets tickled. And then I'm done.
Yeah, I couldn't keep going. And it used to be okay because if we were just doing audio, we could just mute.
Yeah, we could just
but
go
now
back and take that out.
So you can't. Yeah, you can't edit it out.
Lindsay says, if you guys could do a live every 3 to 4 months, that would help. Thanks so much. I think we're going to try to make this every month.
Yeah.
I mean, like more frequent because, it's fun just sitting here chit-chatting with everybody.
Well, you guys reach out and we try to respond to everybody that reaches out. I mean, I'm sure we miss some, but
Jenny says, I feel so mean, but all I want is to see is how haggard Lori must look. Me too. It's petty, but it's a woman thing.
Yeah.
No Botox, no nothing. And
and she ain't gonna have no Jolly Rancher. Lipstick.
Wrapping that hair around them bars to get them curls,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but you just think about all the pain she caused, and then I don't feel because I try not to judge women by looks. I just feel like it's not a good example for my daughters, but I do it with Lori because
here's the deal. I want her to have to take that stinking mask off.
Right?
Come on.
COVID's gonna be over and gone in like 5 years when she goes to trial. She's gonna have that mask on.
Like legit, she's sitting next to Mark Means. They could spread them out a little bit. She wouldn't have to wear a mask.
Yeah,
she's just hiding.
No yoga, no hair dye. Yeah. Well, if you remember, we started seeing that gray come out about right there, but you can get hair dye. We haven't done this in months, but the Glimpse at Life series where somebody I know who's in prison for life in California, she sent me her commissary list of things they can order. Hair dye's all over it, y'all.
Hey, we have somebody from China.
What?
Hush. Reeb. Hi, lady. Oh, it's going fast. I lost it.
We just had somebody
from Shanghai. Yeah.
So, I just had to block somebody for the first time because they were saying racial slurs, and I'm gonna tell you what right now. If there's one thing I don't like, that's a racist. I don't like any ist.
No.
Keep your opinions to yourself, bye-bye.
Yeah. So we had somebody from Shanghai, China. That was cool.
Wow. What did somebody say? Y'all, our former sister-in-law got Botox. I nearly died laughing because now she looks pregnant. She's in her 50s. That's from Diana.
Oh my goodness.
Look, I ain't gonna lie. I told my daughters if I could get just a little like lift right there, I would not be sad.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, I'm allergic to a bunch of stuff. When you're diabetic, you can one day you can eat a banana and the next day you may have a reaction to it. I don't see what it all is about some Botox, because when I swell up, I don't like it.
You a little of that. Remember that movie where the guy got stung by the bee and like his whole face?
Martin Short. That was Martin Short. Yeah.
You know, Martin Short and Steve Martin have a show now where they are true crime podcasters. I think Selena Gomez is in it. I really want to watch it because I love them too.
So Artie says if Lori is faking, can she be charged for wasting the court's time? Right now, they hadn't deemed she's faking, so technically she's not wasting the court's time.
I think it would probably not be in their best interest to try and even assume that that she's faking. It would be really hard to prove, although Lori's faked a lot of stuff her whole life. So
yeah.
But at the same time, I just want to say, like, it's not uncommon after being in the pokey for a hot minute that you do lose your mind. Or Lisa, I ordered a shirt. How long does it take to get them? I can check the print cycle and see. It shouldn't be that long. If it's been a long time, send us an inbox on Facebook and we'll look into it for you.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see here.
We're coming to the end.
Only
in England.
Only Murders in the Building. The show is fan-freaking-tastic. Okay, we'll check that out.
Yeah. So Miss Saltphone. I'm in London, England, but used to live in Ogden, Utah. Ogden's where they have the replica of the Jerusalem village and all that stuff. Like that's where a lot of these videos are filmed in Ogden because they got a big thing out there. So
London, I flew into London. My daughter and I went to Port Isaac for 10 days. That was one of the best vacations I've ever had. So beautiful out there. Can't wait to go back. Let's see. Mark Means is wasting court money with all of his filing of garbage. I agree. I mean, he's if you look at what he's filed and what actually has been successful for him, it's been like maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. I'm six. Let's see. Just Jake, Gigi, I'm 61 and finally got Botox and love the results. It was well worth the money and I never spend money on myself. That's good to hear. But I tell you what, man, I'm thinking about a tummy tuck. 3 kids and an 8-pound ovarian tumor later. My stomach has seen better days. The first time I tried to run in years, I felt this jiggle and I was like, what in the world is that feeling? And this is my belly going, blah, blah, blah.
All right.
I
think we're coming to the end of this.
Okay. Which do y'all prefer, Bojangles, Popeyes, or Churches from North Carolina? Just curious. For me personally, Bojangles.
I would take Bojangles over any of those. We tried to feed Bojangles biscuits to fish at camp one time and they wouldn't eat it, so I was a little worried. So we're picking up some crazy.
Publix Deli is very good. I love their subs better than anywhere. Publix is great.
Boar's Head meat, you can't beat it.
Genoa salami. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Debbie, her granddaughter Braylee is spending the night, and they're so excited that we're on tonight.
Hey Debbie and Braylee. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We're just monitoring for this troll that keeps popping in.
Yeah, sorry for the comments, guys.
Yeah, it's just gross.
We don't know how they got around the block either. They've been blocked like 3 times.
Yeah, they just keep creating accounts. But, it's like, geez. So I think we'll wrap it up here. We're going to do another one, maybe right after the first of the year, because we, Becky has a good point here. I think Lori is truly incompetent because she has deluded herself into thinking her beliefs are reality. I completely believe that Lori believed the religious stuff because if you look at the private text just between Lori and Alex, they were bouncing off each other with this, but it doesn't mean she's crazy. And when you hide your crime, it's wrong. When Lori sat down being questioned when Charles was murdered and she made it into this self-defense thing instead of saying, well, we tried to shoot laser beams to kill these demons that were in him. She's not crazy.
Yeah.
You can be deluded, like religiously think things are crazy, but when you hide your crime, you know what you did. And all of them hid these crimes. None of them are crazy. Dude, I cannot wait to hear guilty.
Yeah. Yep. So
Jenny, I believe we live in a simulation. That doesn't mean I can't be held accountable for murder. You do not know, Jenny, how many times my daughter and I, my oldest, will say it's a simulation. We get, there's a glitch in the matrix when you see like a picture of a boat that looks like it's floating, or my daughter and I always joke we're in a simulation. So anyways, all right, guys, we're going to end it here. I'm going to go chill with my kids. It's time we watch Christmas Vacation.
Oh yeah, we're in.
Heck
we're
yeah.
down. That's what we're going to watch.
Nice. All right, guys, we will see you guys soon. We'll have another episode out for you probably Monday. And we should have some episodes next week for those of you that are traveling.
Yep.
Give you something new to listen to. We appreciate all you that gave super chats and PayPal donations. Like, that's not why we did this, but we do appreciate it. It helps us offset the cost. So thank you very much. Very, very, very sweet of all of you.
Yep.
All
Thanks,
right,
guys. Have a Merry Christmas.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry. We were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.